All right. Today's guest likes it rough and melodic as he is a producer and DJ in the harder styles. We got talking on Instagram, found out pretty quickly that he has a big heart for the planet, but also is a great music producer. So we thought we love to have a chat on with you. Please welcome Klaus. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yes,
Nice to
great to
have
be
you.
here, man. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's really fun. As said, like we just had a brief talk on Instagram before. I think you reacted to something we shared, and then we got talking a bit. And yeah, I don't want to spoil everything in the beginning because I have some questions about some things we talked about there.
Exactly.
Um, but before we dive in super deep, I'm just curious to hear how would you describe what you do creatively yourself in the first place?
Yeah, as you said in the intro, the melodic part, I think that's the most important part of what I do. Yeah, so I produce music, hardstyle, and I always try to start with melodies, and
Hmm.
it's it's a very yeah, I like it very much that you have some kind of musicality in the music,
Hmm.
and it has to be hard as well because the two combined, so the melodies are actually kind of soft, it's more with emotion,
Hmm.
and the kicks is what makes the energy go up, if you ask me, and
Hmm.
so I produce it. I use Ableton from the beginning, actually. Maybe I started with FL Studio, like two or three times, like everyone, I think. But yeah, I really quite quickly switched to Ableton, and
Hmm.
yeah, I got my way around that, and started with someone who really meant a lot for me. I still do, but with my music, I learned a lot from that person, and yeah, that's actually the main reason. It's because I do it. I put in the work, of course, but because of him,
Hmm.
I got more of a direction with my music, and
Hmm.
maybe we can talk about it. Yeah,
Cool.
in this talk, but yeah, that's a bit what I do. So melodic and still a bit hard.
Yeah. So that's the production and the DJing part and as well, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Or do
I
you
do. I'm a DJ as well. I performed last weekend, I think. No, not uh, last weekend, but the weekend before. On Oude Liefde Roesniet. It's a
yeah.
Dutch festival in the Loods. Yeah, old love doesn't rust. Yeah,
I
saying
know.
in Dutch. Yeah, and
It's so funny because you know what? This is not the first time that we talk in this podcast about Outleaf the Roesniet because
okay,
the very first episode that we had with the guest was with my friend Azeri Azeration, who
cool.
also talked about Outleaf the Roesniet in January a year ago. Because that was the very first episode with a guest. So it's kind of funny that this small festival, local festival in Roosendaal in the Netherlands is now coming back into this episode
Cool.
again. Yeah,
Nice. Nice.
it's kind of funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm curious to also hear because I also saw that you organized an event, right, in the Loads
That's true.
Harmony or in
Yes.
Harmony or
Stand in harmony. Yeah,
Stand in
exactly.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah, stand. So that means loads in English. And in harmony, I think if you listen to hardstyle and yeah, you listen to the lyrics and what it stands for most of the time, or in a lot of songs,
Mm.
it's about harmony, in my opinion, and
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I named it Stand in Harmony, and
Cool.
it was this year. the 22nd of March, I think, that I
Mm.
hosted it with a couple of friends. And
Yeah, cool.
yeah, it was really fun to do, and to bring hardstyle a bit more in Roosendaal. And yeah, I really like doing that, and that's something that I want to do more often. So yeah, we're going to talk about that with the friends, and yeah, that's
Cool.
something that I really want to get back and doing that. So yeah,
Sounds really good. Yeah, cool. So producer, DJ, and event host from now on.
apparently,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Cool. Cool. So that's like a bit about what's going on now then. But I'm also curious like how it got to that point. So if we would like make a jump back in time, tell me a little bit about Lil Klaus to say it like that. If you have like one memory that you would describe as your happiest music memory as a kid, what would it be? What is something you think of every now and then as like an old music memory? Can be
Um,
making, can be listening,
yeah, well,
dancing.
it's not really. Yeah, it is happy, but not.
Mm.
But still, it's a powerful one. I think the first time I really knew what music can do for me, you know. And
Yeah.
it was in a really in a tough time, and I discovered Jumpstyle in that time. It was around 2006, 2007,
Mm.
and yeah, it was kind of like um, yeah, it just hit me, you know, and it helped me very much through that time. And I think that's yeah what was at the base of the rest of my love for music, and wanted to produce it later on, because I was 14 when this in this example.
Mm.
Um, and yeah, and yeah, really happy. I think that's can be described as happy, even though it was a bit more difficult time.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But it's still beautiful that this pops up if you hear the word happy because apparently it did resonate with that word or it meant a lot to you.
exactly.
What was
Yeah,
it? Do you mean like that? That you kind of felt what music could do in the sense of how it could help you through difficult times and things like that? How it could
yes,
grab you by the hand and yeah, take you
exactly.
through.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first time I really um, yeah, experienced that, and
Yeah.
also it was I don't know if you know that song, but it got remixed a lot as well, also in hardstyle, but Cambodia from
Yeah.
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 From
Yeah.
it was voorwerk back then, the
Yeah.
jumpstyle version. I think that was the one of the first electronic after. I think it was Kim Wilde that the original song Cambodia.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think so.
yeah, and yeah, that was just
Uh,
what came up for
I
me. Yeah.
I now have memories about that as well. Yeah. Like, how
Yeah.
old are you now?
I'm 32.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm 30, so that explains like we both were at the high school parties like when we had Jekyll and Hyde at our high school party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Also in
Yeah.
Roosendaal or
Berg op Zoom. Yeah.
so? Okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
it was good school parties. Yeah. Yeah. But I can also imagine if you have such a powerful like youth memory about music and it is like jump style that's like already like kind of a trajectory into harder styles and that side of the music scene, so to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or were there other things that influenced your love for like hard style and harder styles as well?
Yeah, maybe I could start a bit earlier on, and something a bit less deep or whatever. But
Mhm.
I have an older brother and an older sister,
Mm.
and they also always listened to, not always, but often listened to hardcore in the time that I was around 8 till 10, something like
Mm.
that. And yeah, I really had fun with that as well. So that's where the harder styles came into yeah, my life or my experience. And yeah, that's where it started actually.
Yeah,
And
I can imagine. Yeah.
yeah, and I always we had like this I don't know if it's the same word in English, but cassette recorder,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and to record stuff, to record like tapes on yeah, with songs you like on other tapes, and talking through it, and that kind of things. And
Yeah.
always yeah, when they asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I said tape maker.
Tape maker.
the,
Professional tape maker. That's
the
cool.
tape maker. Yeah.
So you could have been a radio host, but no, tape maker sounds more cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's
So
so cool. Yeah. But it also makes sense then because I think also something that I hear more often with people we have talks with, like that older brothers or sisters, like siblings, have such a big influence on music taste. Like we had this guy also who played the guitar, and his brother was always listening to like skater rock and stuff, and therefore he was introduced to the genre. And it's like I think siblings are such an important factor in
so true.
musical cultural development. Yeah,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
it is. Yeah,
really
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
So then you like listen to those things like pretty early on already, and in your teenager years you even felt more like the power of it and stuff. When did you decide to, instead of professional tape maker, like actually do something with music?
um, I was 18 when I
Mm.
um, used FL Studio. So and yeah, it was not very serious or something, but I had this. I wanted to do it. I had this dream, if you would like to say it like that. That I wanted to be a DJ and I wanted to produce my own music and stuff. And so yeah, I was 18, and then I started doing that. And
Cool.
yeah, around 21, I think, 22. Yeah, 22, I think. I yeah, became a bit more serious with it, and yeah, it was more of a daily habit. And before it was more like, yeah, when I felt like it, I was going to do it. But yeah, yeah, when I was 22, it became a bit more serious. But serious, not the right word, right? Because it's more about making fun and having fun,
Mm.
and just making music, be creative, and that kind of things.
Yeah, I do find that a very interesting thing though. Like, I feel that's a very, how do you say it? Small, like a thin line? Or, yeah, like a thin line. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to take it serious and you have this talk always. I feel like I'm in it for fun, so I just create when I feel like it's fun or when I feel like it, because I don't want to force something upon myself that I'm not feeling in the moment. And then on the other side, you have I want to take it serious, so I'm doing work on it every day. I'm promoting it like really well, how do you feel about that? Because if you're saying I do it, like, basically, if I heard you correctly, 10 years already, like, pretty serious, I can imagine this past your brain as well.
This is best, or sorry?
I
What
can
did you?
imagine if you do this like for 10 years already,
Yeah.
I can imagine it past your brain as well, that yeah, how do
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do
Of
this,
course.
like, every
Yes.
day, or yeah.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I take it seriously, and now I think you have to do something some things that you don't like to do because of what you want to achieve. So that's
Mm.
not always fun to do, but it's just what's part of the job, or however you want to call it, but part of what you do. And um, yeah, I do have fun in the making itself, of course, and but sometimes I
Mm.
do not have the how do you say it, the motivation, or I don't like to make music. But yeah, when I then still do it, I just experience that it's a good how do you say it, the right decision to still make music, and so yeah, to make it more serious for me, on Instagram and promoting it and that kind of things, for me that's still how do you say it, something I can be more serious about.
Mm.
But making music has always been, or always is a bit long, of course. The
Mm.
last couple of years, it's been serious and just daily, and uh, giving all I got in that kind of sense. And and now the part of promoting and marketing and that kind of things that I already do, but can improve a bit more, in my opinion. So
Mm.
that's more serious, of course. That is doing things that make you feel uncomfortable or something like that, But it's
Mm.
well, it's what um, what keeps you going and what gets you further into where you want to be. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you say like it's the process of making it that makes you stay in it because that part you like, do you feel it got easier to to keep doing it when you start doing it every day because you have these little reminders every day that you like it and that therefore you keep doing it?
Yeah.
Or what
Yeah.
was it like a decision or is it very or like natural for you to just do it every day or was there a decision that you made like now I'm gonna work a bit on music at least every day or
Um, I I don't know if it was a decision. I work with a system, and you also asked if it became easier, and I think it did became easier because of the hours, or the time that you are putting into it.
yeah.
And yeah, the decision. I think what I said in the beginning, that I found someone who helps producers and DJs and that kind of people. I work with a system, and that system, I work on it. Like when you have 5 hours in the week to, just an example, you have 5 hours in the week to um, create music. Then that music machine, that's how he calls it, is um, you have 5 tracks in that week that you are working on, and you
Mm.
go through it 2 times in a week. So you have 10 sessions, and a session is around 30 minutes. You can go longer, but it's a brief explanation. It's
Mm.
more complex, but to explain that I work with that system, and that system came into my system, so I can make more music, and easier, because I know when what to do in every phase of the creative process. So it's
Yeah.
yeah,
So it's a bit like a workflow habit that kind of got into your system, so to say.
yeah,
That also, if I hear it correctly, kind of helps you to limit the time that you actually spend on like endlessly improving little bits, but just saying like, okay, I have this amount of time now to work on it, and that's it for that track, right? Then. if I hear you
Yeah,
correctly.
it's like there are multiple stages in that process, and yeah, you start with a sketch. So for me, it's a melody with a kick, with chords and that kind of things, and then you go into discovery. You are discovering what that track wants to be. You know what it's meant to be, or you know what you like, and um, after that you are more, yeah, you know what it is, you know what the music is, the track, what it's about, and then you're going to implement more ideas that um, complement that core of the track. And yeah, like you said, the um, finishing or always or making it better and better and better and better. That's the last phase. Actually, it's called release phase, and that's the last thing you do before you yeah, can release it, or before it's ready.
Yeah.
And it's just, yeah, for me it's very nice to use, because it gives a clear view, and yeah, you know what to do actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sounds really good. And
It,
when did this system come into your life? Like, how long are you now working by it?
I think year of six. I think 5 or 6. Yeah. So
So that really created the consistency in your work then, kind of.
yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Sounds a bit like a challenge or something you set yourself in the beginning, but because then you're in it, it like gets into your habits, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, I it's a recommendation for everyone, if it's up to me.
Yeah.
To work like
How did
that.
you say it was called? If people are interested in it, that they can like
It's
create
called the
work with
Music
it.
Machine.
The
The Music
music machine.
Machine by Mike Monday, and is music make music your life. It's
The
promotion for him.
slogan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, that's how it's called, and he teaches us very well. And I'm actually I'm also I'm always mentioning him. But I have producer friends as well, and I see that things that I think they can really use in this system. So I want to teach them as well, and I'm preparing that at the moment to yeah, to be ready to show them the basics of what I use for my music. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's really cool. I um I indeed think that's super valuable. And it sounds like it's something that really helps you to, yeah, I don't know, find a flow in it. Or, you know, I don't know. Do you know the Make Art Not Content podcast?
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. If you're liking podcasts, as you said earlier, like I think that's a really cool one. It's a bit fast paced and a bit like creative and chaotic at points as well, but I really
Okay.
like it for that. But they talk about flow, that you know, like that flow is this state of mind where you lose time and, you know, forget that you are working on something. And I think with this system, you can't, of course, force the flow to be there, but I think it can definitely help you create more opportunities to find the flow in the moment. And it might not always be that case that you really enjoy the session and that you have a perfect, you know, I forget the
Mm.
time session, but at least you give yourself more moments where you could find it, maybe. So I think, yeah, sounds really, sounds like a good way to
Yeah,
create. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I don't know if it's for everyone, because I heard someone say headhunters. I don't know if you know
mm-hmm.
headhunters.
Yes.
That there are roughly two types of producers, and he is the first that every idea he starts, he finishes, and you have producers that make a lot of ideas and finish some of them, and
Yeah.
yeah, that system, and for me, for me also, yeah, it's the last category. Yeah,
Yeah. It's like shooting a lot and then picking out the cherries and like
exactly that.
working,
Yeah,
finishing them, and then yeah, yeah,
yeah.
cool. So I want to dive a little bit deeper on one of the cherries. That is something that I actually has a bit of a story around it. I think I checked your Instagram and then I saw in your bio I saw hashtag 432 hertz as a hashtag, and I found that interesting because it is often referred to a frequency that is all around us in the universe, in nature, and in ourselves. And therefore, I thought, that's a good bridge for the Aliens Love Earth podcast right there.
Cool.
Um, some say it's like a healing frequency. I know there are instruments that are standard, like designed and tuned to that frequency, like the handpan and things like that. And I'm curious because you sent us your like fresh now out release, um, and it has a normal version and a 432 hertz version. And I'm curious, where did you find out about the 432 hertz, and yeah, what does it mean to you?
Where did I find out? That's a good question. It's been around for multiple years, I think now. I don't know where I heard it at first, or yeah, I was always into music, and then yeah, I think I just heard it somewhere, and I went looking. Well, what does it mean? And yeah, for me, I think it's because of the standard, which is 440 hertz, and that I yeah, read and heard and yeah, see things that I didn't really like actually, what that
Mm.
frequency did. So I uh, went looking for something else, and yeah, and for 32 hertz came onto my path, and yeah, for me it's all those things you just said, and it's harmonic frequency. It doesn't, everything is frequency in essence, and um, so our body and ourselves as well. And yeah, it's maybe a bit deep, but it is what
I
it
like
is,
it.
I think. And yeah, okay, cool. And so the music that you are listening to, even though it can touch you or you can really get goosebumps or whatever, which is a very positive experience, of course. It also um, unconsciously, yeah, harms us. It does more bad than good actually, and it is a dissonant frequency for 40 hertz,
Mm.
and yeah, it's just not good for your body and for your yeah, spirit or your mind, or
Mm.
what you want to call that. And yeah, for 32, I actually I have a program where I can um, transfer every 440 to 432
Mm.
hertz. And I almost exclusively listen to that as well. And what I want to do and what I'm doing with my own music, yeah, is to create it as well in 432 hertz, so that the people that listen to my music aren't harmed in that way. And harmed is maybe a bit, yeah, extreme, but yeah, you could say it like that. And it's a
Yeah.
bit more work to make it 432 hertz, but every time I at first I just come back to it every time. Then I'm just, am I going to do it? Yes, yes, I'm going to do it, and that's yeah,
Yeah.
it's just an automatic thing right now.
Yeah, because if you say like that it can harm, you mean the frequency, how it like the sound wave has an impact on the body, and because everything vibrates, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
not really at home in that, but I read a bit about it and I found it very interesting.
Cool.
Um,
Nice. Yeah.
yeah,
Like that. Yeah. And that's
yeah,
um, yeah, something I think uh, I for me, if I had to say it, the standard should be 432 hertz, because it's just better
yeah,
for everyone. And but all the, like Ableton, where I produce my music in, they it's all 440 hertz, and you can some plugins you can tune, like Serum. Yeah, they have the
yeah,
opportunity, or the you can switch it a bit down, but a lot of is still at 440 hertz. Yeah.
yeah. And are you then also considering just creating everything you make at 432, or is there a reason that you made both versions still?
Now, for DJing, the 432 hertz, the timing is going a bit off, and I haven't
Hmm.
yet tested it well enough to know if with I think no, I think Here For You has yeah, I think it's 432 hertz, also the DJ version, so the extended
Hmm.
version. And so yeah, that was the reason that I had the 440, and it was yeah, for the extended mix, so
Yeah,
that the timing was still yeah, the same as all the other tracks. And the other one, yeah, for listening, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was the reason. Yeah,
yeah. I found it very interesting because I like didn't. I read something coming by about it once, but now this was a good reason to like look a little bit more into it, and I find it so cool to run into like these things that artists do that are like a bit different. Like how do you come up with creating your I didn't run into anyone creating their music in 432 before, so I find
yeah,
it very interesting. And you like it then from multiple aspects better as well, right? Like it's not
yeah.
only the resonance but also the like the tone of it and the warmth of it, or yeah. Can
Oh,
you hear it? Yeah,
you can hear it. Actually, you can,
right?
if you listen very closely, you can hear it. A good um, example for that would be if you have your favorite song. It doesn't have to be your own, but just your favorite song. And then if you have like Audacity or Ableton or whatever, and then 0.32 semitones lower than as it
Yeah,
is, yeah, you can hear a bit of difference. But yeah, for me, that's not the most important part. But yeah, that's just the yeah, say health reason, or yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool,
No,
cool.
nice
And that
that you didn't. Nice. It's actually not nice. I wish everyone
mm,
was doing this, so you heard of it more often, of course. But
yeah.
I know what I mean. But it's yeah, it's cool. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's just cool, that like this is why I love like talking with you and with people, because it's like it's not a standard thing, to do. It's like very consciously looking outside of the standard way and thinking about, like, it's almost conscious music making, like it's like, oh, but why do we do it that way? I don't really like that about it. Is there other ways? And then finding that out, using that as like a guide, or like,
yeah,
it takes
yeah,
off into another direction,
yeah.
um, in a very
I,
conscious way. So that's
I
very cool. Yeah,
yeah. I really like the word conscious music making. I don't know. It just yeah,
yeah,
it's a good way to
yeah,
describe it. Yeah, yeah. Cool.
especially in electronic music, I think that's really like, I think it really adds a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a lot of just, making, and I think we can talk like multiple hours about it. Like you see the whole movement with electronic music because it's on the front, or how do you say it? On the front of like electronic development as well. It's like very closely connected with technological developments and things like that. So you see a lot of ways to make music even faster, quicker, like with
Mm.
less thought process or with less
Yeah.
emotional involvement and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where you at this point already can like create full songs with just writing, a few words in an AI or something.
It's true.
So
I,
like hearing these stories that are like very conscious music making are very cool to me. Yeah.
nice. That's cool. I
Yeah.
I also tried to make hardstyle, yeah, with these kind of things, and it didn't go as well. But that's mainly because of the kick. The hardstyle kick
Mm.
is different than every other electronic music. Yeah, music, and that's just a very hard part. So I think that's not yet developed far enough to create things like that as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
good for the hardstyle producers.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, I don't mean it to break down all the AI or technological developments, because I think it's very interesting to see how those things are used in
Oh,
creative ways
exactly.
again as
Yeah,
well,
yeah, of
because it
course.
opens
Yeah,
new doors.
yeah,
But yeah, no, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would say let's have a listen to the song, to the 432 hertz version, and give our listeners a little bit of good frequencies and
Nice, nice. Yeah,
healthy frequencies.
cool. Healthy
Cool.
frequencies.
That's what we do it for. Let's have a listen.
There's nothing left to say, and nothing you could do. There is no other way when it comes to the truth. So keep moving on. You know you'll make it through. I've suffered, I'm done. Waiting here for you, waiting here for you. 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 Waiting here
Ah,
That was it.
that's it. I find it so cool how there is like multiple genres in the song. How you literally hear the influences from from different styles. I hear a bit of synthwave and a little bit of like no, I lost the word.
Drum and bass.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
that rhythm. Yeah,
yeah, the rhythm, not the tempo, but yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. It's really really fun how that mixes up.
Cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, really cool one, and it's out now. So
It's
yeah,
out
in
now.
432 and 440, right?
Yeah. Now, actually, the 440 is just for playing and for
Ah,
DJing.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
So
only 432. Yeah, yeah.
cool, cool,
Yes. Yeah.
nice,
Yeah.
nice. So if you think back about like producing this track, were there in the process any specific challenges or things that were with this track like quite challenging to get correct or get right?
Um, yeah, I think it all starts with, like I said in the beginning, with a melody, and
Hmm.
I created the melody, and I thought, okay, this one is what I want to work on more, and yeah, then it's also always the case, like if you have something good, you don't want to mess it up, and
Mm.
but yeah, you have to break some things and you have to do some things different, and I think this version has I looked it up. I think it's about 30 or 35 sessions I did on it. So like
Mm.
17 hours approximately. And yeah, with every, I almost always encounter sort of the same problems, that it's not yet completely working, and then I have to fix some things. Yeah, that's a bit general, but
Mm.
it's more like the idea of the song, and the vocal with it, and everything has to, yeah, fit together. But with this system that I explained before, in some phases of the process, it doesn't really matter, because you can always come back to it and, in a later phase, fix those problems. And I think
Mm.
that's something that's really helpful. And yeah, this one, the vocal, when I got that, it just, yeah, it was just how I wanted it to be. And there is also a phase called done in the process, and that's where you decide if you want to release it or not. And
Mm.
yeah, with this one, it was quite clear that I wanted to release it. So yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Do you, because you said like this one took like 35 sessions, do you, is there a limit that you set for yourself for a number of sessions, or is it just that the time within the session is different, set to
Yeah,
30?
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I normally or usually do 30 minutes on a session, and sometimes a bit longer if I am really into it, and I have more ideas, and I don't want to stop.
Mm.
Then I don't want to stop. And
Yeah. Then you do a
and
second one like right after it.
exactly, yeah,
Yeah.
that can be the case. But
Mm.
I'm not someone who has hour long sessions, and
Mm.
I think that's also because of the freshness of what you hear, and because if you are exposed multiple hours to the same thing, it always can hear a bit like it's good when it's maybe actually not. So
Yeah.
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 So that's but yeah, so 30 minutes on a session, and um, I don't set like I want to work maximum of 10 hours on it or something. Some tracks I work longer, some tracks a bit less. And
Mm.
um, yeah, that's a bit how I approach that. Yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Really, really nice. Yeah, so that's Here For You, Klaus, out now,
Oh,
everywhere.
wow.
Yeah, we'll make sure to put a link in the description as well, so people can just click it and
Cool.
have a listen. Have a listen there, nice
Nice.
and easy. Yeah, to stay a bit into like your production workflows, but also tie it a bit into the Aliens of Earth team as well. I'm curious, have you ever used sounds of nature or have been inspired by nature maybe in one of your tracks or in your music? Or is it
I
something in general that you like like to use?
I really like I've in Come Together. It's called the track of mine. It's of earlier this year. I used yeah, like rain. It's
Mm.
something that really is soothing for me actually. And I use that to. I also like lo-fi hip hop.
Mm.
I wanted to make a break that is more of yeah, like that arranged. And yeah, so the rain is what I used. That's uh, something I really like doing. Um,
Mm.
and what I heard, I think I hear some kind of birds or at your place. I think,
Right
right?
now. Oh,
Yeah,
that's very possible. Yeah, I think you're right.
that's
Yeah.
I yeah, that's something that I didn't yet try, but I hear that more often in hardstyle with yeah, the break, because the the softer parts of hardstyle are maybe are often more um, yeah, soft, of course, but the contrast between the break and the climax, the drops, are also a bit rough, a bit
Mm.
extreme, or there are two polarities, you could say. And
Mm.
so using that kind of things is very yeah, helpful, you know, and you can create more. Um, yeah, if you are in nature, you're not really thinking of hard kicks and hard, you know, it can be, but yeah, it's more
Mm.
yeah, to create that contrast. Um, and yeah, bit like that, I think. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's fun. That's cool.
cool.
What kinds of nature? Yeah, what elements in nature do you find most intriguing yourself, like outside of for your music use?
Um, I what I think of right now is bamboo.
Bamboo.
Bamboo, yeah, because
Cool.
it stays for a long period of time under the ground, you know, and then
Mm-hmm.
when it's ready to see the light, it's yeah, it grows above. And I really
Cool.
like to see that. Yeah, you can see that with people as well, you know. So I really like that kind of. It's a metaphor, or
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get
but
you. Yeah.
that's something that
That
comes to
people
my
can
mind.
like sit on something very long and then they flourish, like kinda. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah.
Cool. That's a cool metaphor. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have one tip maybe that everyone can simply use to like reduce their footprint or at least leave the planet like a little bit not worse?
No, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I thought of this, and I have for me, we talked about 432 hertz, and
Mm.
yeah, how I see it, the Earth or the planet has got a frequency as well, and as how I see people talk about it. So that's how I get this information. But that it's raising its frequency as well, and yeah. So by doing that, it's that's not quite what you mean, of course, but it's something how I see which could help the planet
Yeah.
and the people who live on it, and it's raising its frequency, the planet, and I think because of that, we have to ourselves as well, and things can come up because of that, and yeah, by going through those things, yeah, you can also raise your own frequency and really help the planet in that way. So it's all going up in that sort of terms. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you mean like that we can do something to lower the frequency again? Is that what we would want? Or is it like a good thing that it increases?
It's a very good thing that it increases. I think that it's not possible for us to influence that much the frequency of the Earth or the process that it's currently going through. And it's more, yeah, like we have with the oceans. You have a lot of plastic and oil and that kind of things, and that is something that it's some time ago, but that I really looked into. But that there are a lot of solutions for that, and but it's not always choose for. That's not always what people choose, but to clean it all up, or it's just continuing with the dump and stuff. But that's more the to make the planet more livable, and I think by changing ourselves, change maybe not the complete right word, but we can be, like you said, with conscious music making, we can become more conscious and make other choices, which automatically are more contributing than destructive. So
Yeah.
so
It's like think about the things you do a bit more, and then you automatically might make different changes as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and
Cool.
so that's yeah, would be my tip, I think.
I think that's a great tip, and I think it's a very cool way of viewing it as well. Like I'm genuinely curious. Always, this question is always really fun, I find, because you get a very big variety of answers on it. So you get like recycle and separate your waste, but you also get like stop and count to 10 and think about what you're doing, or like what you're mentioning now about like how the frequencies have an
exactly.
influence, and how we can like take a moment to consciously go over things. So I like it because it's sounds like such a simple question, but everyone has another interpretation of it, and that makes it so valuable, I think, and such a fun thing to know and to hear.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So before we go towards the end of the episode a bit, I am curious. I just want to hit on one topic more, and that's the importance of community. And I'm asking this because we are obviously trying to like build a community here with musicians and artists with a heart for the planet. But I saw that you were also working on a community in some sense on your website with the forum that you're working on. And I know you mentioned that it is like in early state and everything, but I had a little look there and I found it really interesting. And I think it's a very powerful thing, but also a very valuable thing that you're trying to create there. Maybe you can tell a bit about it yourself. How how you come up with it, and what you're trying to build out there.
Yeah, it really started with talking with friends about music and seeing what they encountered as problems or things like that. And I had this idea to be of some help to them, which could also um, yeah help me myself as well, and just to make a good balance between that. And so yeah, it's the system that I just mentioned. That's something I want to teach, quote unquote. It's something I want to show and want to let them see how it's also possible to create music, and to that you don't have to be motivated or inspired ins- inspired to to make music. And that's with this system that it's possible. So yeah, I thought of what ways it could be that. And I always I had already my own website, and KLAUZ.nl. And I thought you could have Discord or whatever, but I thought I want to have it all within my own thing. And then I started working on it. And um, I think you can also collaborate on things. So if you have a question like, I'm looking for a singer, or looking for a producer, or you can ask that over there. And I just felt the urge to do something. And I hope it can be something of value to other people. And that system, the music machine, that is really central within the whole forum, and what I want to do. So and community, I really, that's just one of the best things is community, I think. I also read this book, Ikigai. I don't know if you have heard of it.
Mm,
Yeah, and
yeah,
that's also something that's mentioned there, and one of the most important things in a good and healthy life. And I think it's really cool to have like-minded people, and be part of something you can relate to, and that I hope
yeah,
that you say it like community. I didn't really think of that actually, of the forum, but it's really is something that's a possibility as well, to create a community
yeah.
there. It's well said. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think community always, like, it's something that I've been questioning myself as well. Like, the word itself sounds maybe overused over the last time, um, because it's a word that's been very, like, heavily used also in marketing for a reason, obviously. But
mm.
it's like, it got a bit of a trend word, like coach,
For
like
commercial.
coaches.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's the same as like coach, like coaches can be so super valuable, but it's has been used also in cases that it's a bit like, yeah.
yeah,
But if you make it very simple, then it's, finding a group of people that feel the same and exchange knowledge and feelings and stuff, so that you can, I don't know, learn from each other. And I
yeah,
think, I think that's really like a valuable thing to have, to also exchange, like, not even like per se from a, it's like you're equal in it. I think that's the
yes,
right
yeah,
thing about it. That
yeah,
you can contribute together to something, and
yeah,
that it's not like too much of a, I'm telling you this, or you
yeah,
are learning this from me, but it's more like an exchange where everybody in an ideal situation, everybody can also feel that they're empowered to share their insights and thoughts and feelings, because it's not wrong, but it's like exchanging individual
Cool.
experiences. And then, yeah, sounds maybe a bit deep, but yeah,
No,
that's
very
like
nice.
what I
Yeah,
find
yeah,
cool about the word. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I'm really
true.
curious to see where that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I really like the yeah, equality, or it's that the right word, that you are just equal, and that um,
Yeah.
yeah, for me, and now I am the one who is running the forum or whatever, but um, yeah, you
Yeah.
could look up to someone, but that's not the point actually. And not that I say that people look up to me or
Yeah.
whatever. I don't know, but that's just
Yeah.
yeah, that's just yeah, that's yeah, that, I like it. But yeah, the equal part of that. Yeah, I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's yeah, I think it's not about indeed looking up to someone, but that it's like you can run it because you had an idea of creating it and you're putting a lot of work and stuff in for like shaping it and you have a vision for it. So obviously you can facilitate that, but I think it's more on the level of, if someone can contribute something to it, and, why not? Because it's,
Yeah.
yeah, if it adds
Exactly.
to the
That
idea and
yeah.
the message, that's like
Exactly. I,
valuable.
I also created a subforum that's called, I don't know exactly what it's called, but people can um, give their own tips to yeah, the community, and just
Mm,
to um, like a friend of mine, I work with him on a track that we are building, and um, also, in in the system, there's this thing called a purpose, that
mm,
what the purpose is for the track. So, for
mm,
example, um, the message to bring the message of that you can start over whenever you want, or something like that. And yeah,
mm.
I explained it to him, and I found it really cool. The forum is not yet public, but he already put that in over there, so other people could read that as well. And I think
Yeah.
that's just cool that you can, yeah, like you say, contribute to each other. And yeah,
Yeah.
everyone has his own take,
Yeah.
his own view, and yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it's really cool. And your idea with it was to not make it only for like hardstyle or harder styles, right? That it was like
all
any genre
genres.
is welcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. All
Yeah.
electronic genres. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I know it's still in the beginning phase, but people can find it at Klaus with a Z at the end .nl, right? If it's
Exactly. Yes.
I think it's already there, but if it's more filled, then they can see it there when it's
Cool.
ready.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Cool. That sounds good. I think, yeah, we've been talking for over an hour, well, now already.
Nice.
So I think yeah, we can end it up for a bit, and maybe in the future we have more things to talk about, and we can always do it again. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Who knows?
Um, yeah, before we close off, I wanna, yeah, thank you obviously for sharing all your cool insights and your creative journey, some tips of your production process, and some of your green thinking. That's really nice, and I really enjoy it to talk about those things as well. And to anyone listening, if you also like those thoughts and like the planet a bit, I would say give the channel a follow wherever you're watching or listening, because we restore 1 square meter of landscape for every follower on every channel. So yeah, it helps. It's 2 clicks. It's free for you. So yeah, and we can spread the message further that we're trying to spread. Yeah, Klaus, I want to end off with a track that you sent to us earlier. and that we simply had to support on the playlist as well. And that I want to close
well,
off
thank you for
the show
that.
with as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Awakened Spirit. It's for a reason. It has a UFO in the artwork. So yeah, we couldn't like not do it, you know. So is there a thing before we like close off and dive into that track that like maybe a hidden sound or some hidden little thing that people can keep an ear out for if they're listening to it?
A hidden little thing. I don't know. I think.
Or your favorite part in the song.
The favorite part is the hidden thing. Yeah, there's something. I spoke with another producer about it, and he said it was a mistake, and I said it was an artistic choice. So
you said, dude, do you know Bob Ross? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was Dutch actually, but no, but that's something you can look for. It's I will give a hint. It's a bit to the end of it, and it's maybe people can hear what I mean. And but no, but my favorite part is just I think the last drop. Yeah. And that's the drop after that hidden thing. That's also a good thing. Yeah.
The one drop after the hidden little mistake.
Yeah.
The happy accident.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Cool. We're gonna listen to it. Klaus, thank you so much again. It was really fun to have this talk, and I'm sure we'll talk in the future. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Nice.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
The truth has been forbidden, but it cannot stay forever hidden. Trust. The truth has been forbidden. Waking up from our dreams, nothing what it seems. Enlighten others and yourself. That's the highest form of wealth. The truth has been forbidden, but it cannot stay forever hidden. Trust what the universe provides. In that way, we collectively turn the tides. Turn the tides. The truth has been forbidden, but it cannot stay forever hidden. Trust. Turn the tides. Waking up from our dreams. The truth has been forbidden, but it cannot stay forever hidden. Trust what the universe provides. In that way, we collectively turn the tides.